Hello, welcome to Renew Education and case study again. This is the lower arch of this case here. We talked about the upper arch already. If not, you can look for the little designated U at the end of the title of the case. And it's a very difficult case here too. This poor person has been investing in what I call tooth by tooth dentistry, but she's kind of at the end of the rope. However, a lot of that has slowly been failing or ailing. She's got a massive cavity here. She's got this giant amount of bone here, but no bone here, the nerve here. So she's a red on ridge height, red on attached tissue. She's a red on the nerve. She's a red on medical history. She's osteoporotic. And so I talked a lot about random little choices that she could do. She's in her late 60s, I believe, which means, she's still got life to live. So we want to see how we can get these things to last a lot longer. If there's any specialists that want to comment on this one, that'd be great, because I've taken out different implants at this level as well. And sometimes I find that, man, they could have lasted another X amount of years. I have a case that I have a very similar situation, maybe to this here and this, and it's been in for 20 years and now it's that way. She's in her mid to late 70s, and taking those out and just kind of letting them go away, and possibly, doing a lot of crafty grafting and stuff to get new implants. And it's just something, it's not a quality of life enhancer for her. So what we elected to do in her case was just put on a couple new crowns that we made them more hygienic, so we can hopefully increase the longevity, maybe a little tissue culturing there too as well. So that's a different case than this, but it has very similar things about it that's interesting about this one. So let's get into it right now. Over here, we're going to look at the case from a perspective of what do we do with the natural teeth and what do we do with all of these implants. Well, the first thought is just get rid of everything. And that's fine, because what you're going to have to do is level all of this out. So when these teeth come out, you need to augment that bone down to make it the same height. And mostly because the prosthetic is going to be very hard to deal with. It's going to be a very difficult situation where you have this high bone, and now what do you do with your prosthetic here? It's going to be very thin, and then it's going to be high, and then that's going to resorb away, and you're going to end up making technically a more difficult and a weaker prosthetic. So if you go down that path, you can do kind of what we call the all-on-4 placement of implants that you're going to have angulation to these. So you could do this model here. You bypass the nerve area. So the only issue you have with her is really that how osteoporotic is she? Where is she at that level? The bone doesn't look horrible down here. So I would imagine that they would integrate and work. So buy a higher, better quality implant. There are certain generic implants I will never use again. And we'll talk about that at another date on the implants. They're not all alike, but buy the quality implants, the Straumann's, Neos. I'm not a fan of Nobel Biocare, but that would probably work out okay. I just don't like their fixtures. Maybe a Nobel Active, I guess, could work well here. What else would I do? Hyoscine for sure would be a good bet here. So those are really good scenarios for an all-on-4. Now, I would not do a fixed hybrid in this case either. I've gotten away from all fixed hybrids. The maintenance on those are very high and difficult. I would stick to a 4-locator bar overdenture here. If you want to do a fixed hybrid, you can get your fixed hybrid out to here and out to here, which would be plenty for this person. So that would work too. You just have to remind them that they have to make sure that they keep everything very hygienically clean. Let's look at the areas over here again, and let's look at those implants. So if we look at an implant right here, let's get rid of some of these implants here. All right, this is that. Okay, so right here, we're going to be looking at this particular implant. There's really nothing holding that in. Her nerve is actually down here, so she does have a little bit of room. Wait, let me correct that. It might be higher. Hold on. That's the nerve, and here's how you do it on a CT. You can find the nerve pretty quick. Go to like a 75 micron, and now what I do is I roam through the data looking at the nerve. You can see the nerves here, and here we go. Here's the canal. So yeah, it's this higher canal. So I'll put down kind of a marker, I guess, at that nerve height. So that's the top of the nerve. So if we go back to our viewpoint here, this is our top of the nerve area. So the nerve is from right in here. So I would, now you're kind of looking at it going, oh no, what do I do with that? You really can't do anything with that. I don't go into reconstruction going up. Like I said in the beginning, if there's any specialist that sees that they can build bone up here. Literature has said once that surface area is contaminated, it's not going to, even if you form bone around it, it's not osseointegrated into the implant so much. It's really what it's doing is just kind of doing some support, but mostly if you grow bone or graft material up here, you're basically looking at soft tissue adhesion, bringing it up, not that you're gonna save a lot of structural, the structural component to this is still right here. Like I said, I've seen this last a long time. I don't know this patient exactly when these were placed and how long it's taken to go from up here to down here. So we've got this many millimeters to go. And so it's hard to really know the exact advice. If this person was inclined to just think about what they may want to do, you may want to just, without challenging the osteoporosis, take these teeth out and try to make a locator overdenture. You have a spot to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and see how that functions. It'll probably overload these once she starts learning to function, but maybe you get some soft tissue support here and here. I don't know. There definitely is something here that you can probably do to kind of, instead of just immediately take them out, give her something while this heals over. And also, if you're inclined to actually keep these here, then you can even put an implant in this side. You got all this bone, and then you put a locator there. So there's a way to really hold this side in. This side, unfortunately, is what the weak part is, and you have no bone to deal with there. Maybe you put an implant here. Maybe you connect it with a bar. So there's different options for that. If you put an implant in here, maybe you put a bar connecting these three together. That might work out better. But unfortunately, then you create a bigger hygienic problem once you put a bar on here. So it is a challenging case for sure. Upper and lower, we're just talking about the lower here. And I would say probably the biggest red component for her would be the osteoporosis. I mean, that really starts to limit things. For her, if she can't heal, then you can't heal around the implants and you're kind of stuck. So maybe doing a test implant right here, seeing if that's successful, will save her a lot of other grief down the road, so she can decide on whether or not she wants to keep those implants as long as she can, because at least she's chewing on something, versus taking everything out and trying to give her a lower denture and trying to do the heroics with other implants, which basically will lead her down the rabbit hole faster than if you just left those on. If this is already hopeless because of osteoporosis, then why take these out? They're already going to be hopeless down the road anyway, but maybe she'll get 5 years out of it. Maybe she'll get 3 years out of it. Maybe she'll get 10 years out of it. You're not God. I'm not God. Nobody knows the future here. So, have her keep it clean, use good hygiene techniques and protocols, and maybe she'll keep her quality of life a little bit longer. So anyway, thanks for joining us. A good case study. Remember to look at the upper model and take a look at our treatment assessment sheets, and give us a like on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube, and check us out. We do broadcasting kind of stuff on Mixer and Twitch, and we do some YouTube live stuff as well. So great. Thanks for joining.